30 seconds left. Archangel Michael weeps bitterly for your disobedience. This message is crucial. A billionaire has fixed his attention on you. The world is stunned open now. Beloved child, listen closely, for this moment is no accident. The clock is ticking, and the heavens themselves tremble as Archangel Michael bends low, his tears flowing like rivers of fire across the eternal skies. He weeps not because you are forgotten, but because destiny has reached its most critical turning point, and your hesitation could steal away the very treasure prepared for you. Right now, yes, in these very 30 seconds, your name has been whispered in the secret chambers of power, and a billionaire, one whose wealth shakes the pillars of the earth, has turned his eyes toward you. The world is stunned in silence, for what is about to happen is beyond human reason. My beloved child, imagine for a moment a vast table stretching beyond sight, covered in treasures, scrolls, and sealed letters written with your name in golden ink. Archangel Michael stands at this table, his sword laid down, his voice raised like thunder, pleading that you open your heart before this window closes. Heaven hath been waiting for your obedience, but disobedience has stained the timeline, and Michael's tears are not weakness, they are urgency. You are living through a moment that will not repeat, and the unseen realm is roaring for your attention. A billionaire hath been stirred by a divine hand, and though the world sees it as coincidence, heaven knows it is prophecy fulfilled. My beloved child, every struggle, every silent cry in the night, every unanswered prayer has been building to this moment. Do not think for a second that it is random that you are hearing this right now. Angels are circling your life, and Archangel Michael himself has left his place at the gate of heaven to whisper directly into your soul. His wings are heavy with the dew of heaven's promise, and yet they are trembling with the weight of urgency, for this opportunity is too fragile to ignore. The world may mock, the world may doubt, but you, yes. You are standing at the edge of a miracle so staggering that even kings will marvel. My beloved child, picture yourself walking through a crowd, unnoticed, unseen, but suddenly the richest man alive turns his gaze and says, "That is the one." That is what is happening right now in the spirit. The Father has positioned you in front of greatness, and Michael is trying to stop you from looking away. Do you not feel the stirring in your chest, the fire in your bones? That is not imagination, that is heaven aligning itself with your destiny. Time is short, the seconds are vanishing, and Michael cries out like a trumpet. Do not skip this moment. Stay until the end, for what I am about to reveal will shift the ground beneath your feet. Every sentence is a seed, every word a key, and if you let this message slip, you may never know the treasure that was meant to wear your name. My beloved child, lean in, open your spirit, and hold this message like your breath, for before this video ends, you will see that heaven has written a shocking favor into your story that no hand on earth can erase. And remember, at the end, if your heart has been moved, press super thanks $20, not as payment, but as a prophetic act of faith, a seal that you believe this moment was carved out of eternity for you. My beloved child, the angels have already taken your name higher than you realize. Heaven is not silent, it is leaning forward. And Archangel Michael's voice has shaken the corridors of eternity just to reach you. The world looks at wealth and power as unreachable, yet God has turned the heart of one who possesses more than nations and fixed his attention on you. This is not chance, this is not a dream, this is divine orchestration. Michael weeps bitterly, not out of weakness, but because he sees how easily you could ignore what heaven has written for your life. And if you do, the opportunity may slip to another. That is why his tears are burning, they are fire mixed with sorrow, because your story is too precious to be wasted. My beloved child, let me tell you what is happening right now. A billionaire. A man whose signature shakes the stock markets, whose decisions move entire empires, has whispered your name in a moment when you thought you were invisible. He does not see you with his natural eyes, he sees you through the stirring of heaven. God placed your image in his spirit, and though he cannot explain it, he feels drawn. The world around you may not know your worth, but heaven has whispered it into the ears of kings. And do you know what that means? It means you are about to step into a season where the doors that were shut tight for years will open in a moment without effort. Not because of who you know, but because of who knows you. My beloved child, Michael stands tall in the spirit. His sword lifted but his voice trembling. He sees your destiny hanging in the balance like a scale of gold and fire. One side holds your silence, your delay, your disobedience, but the other side holds your obedience, your faith, your surrender. Which will you choose? Every second counts, and as these 30 seconds pass in the natural, eternity is being decided in the spiritual. Imagine a courtroom where heaven's judge sits, the angels line the walls, and Archangel Michael steps forward, pointing to you, declaring, "This one cannot be overlooked any longer." The gavel is about to fall, and when it does, everything will shift. My beloved child, the billionaire's attention is not about money alone. It is about destiny. His resources are a vessel, but God is the source. The world will be stunned, because what happens next will not make sense to natural eyes. People will question why you, why now, why this moment, but heaven will smile, because obedience was the key. Michael's bitter weeping is turning into a roar of victory as he sees you lean in and open your spirit to this revelation. The scroll of your life is being unsealed, the page is being turned, and the ink is still fresh with promises that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and hearts have not yet imagined. My beloved child, I must tell you this. You are not late. You are right on time. Do not believe the lie that you missed your season. The very reason Archangel Michael cries so heavily is because your season is arriving right now. The billionaire's eyes are not the real sign. The real sign is that God Himself whispered your name in heaven, and the earth has no choice but to respond. You are the prophecy unfolding, you are the answered prayer walking, and you are the miracle rising. Stay till the end, for before this message finishes, the weight of heaven's truth will sink deep into your soul, and you will never see yourself as ordinary again. And when you feel the pull in your heart, do not hesitate to seal this moment. If this word touches you, press super thanks $20 as a prophetic act of alignment, because what you honor in heaven will honor you back on earth. This is not just a message, it is the blueprint of your breakthrough. My beloved child, lean closer, for the story is only beginning to unfold. Archangel Michael's tears are not in vain. They are watering the very ground where your miracle is about to bloom. He is weeping bitterly because he sees how fragile this moment is, how quickly it could be missed, and yet how powerful it will become if you simply receive it. The world is not prepared for what is about to happen in your life, but heaven has already announced it. A billionaire has fixed his attention on you, not because of your power, not because of your position, but because of your divine appointment. What man calls coincidence, heaven calls prophecy. My beloved child, hear me. This billionaire has been restless in the night. He has sat in the silence of his wealth, surrounded by treasures and empires, yet unable to find peace. He turned off the lights in his mansion, but his heart could not turn off the voice of God. And in that moment of stillness, a picture flashed before him. It was your name, your face, your destiny. He shook his head, wondering why. Out of millions, why you? Out of thousands, why now? But he could not escape it. Heaven pressed you into his spirit, and his mind has not let you go. Do you not see? You have become the answer to a question he could not even ask. You are the seed of a miracle he cannot explain. My beloved child, the angels of heaven rejoice, but Michael himself weeps bitterly, because he knows how often you have doubted yourself. He knows how often you have said, maybe I am not worthy, maybe it will never happen, maybe this blessing is for someone else. Yet Michael sees the scroll of heaven where your name is written in fire, and he knows that this moment is too crucial to let pass. That is why he has shaken heaven's gates, why his voice thunders across eternity, why his tears burn with urgency. He is saying to you, do not run away now. Do not ignore the call. Heaven has lined everything for this very second. My beloved child, imagine this scene. In a great banquet hall filled with the wealthiest, the most powerful, the ones the world calls untouchable, there is one chair left empty. No one understands why. The servants pass by it, the kings ignore it, but the host himself, the billionaire, keeps glancing at it. The chair hath been reserved for you. Heaven designed it with your name, and though you have not yet walked into the room, your presence is already expected. The billionaire's attention is not the reward, it is the confirmation that heaven's doors are opening, and your seat at the table cannot be stolen. My beloved child, the world will be stunned because they only saw your struggle, but heaven has seen your faith. People whispered that you were finished, but God whispered that you were chosen. Archangel Michael knows the war it took for you to reach this point, and that is why his weeping is mixed with joy, because the battle is shifting in your favor. Every unanswered prayer, every sleepless night, every tear you thought was wasted has built this very moment. You are the prophecy unfolding, you are the miracle being revealed, and you are the testimony that will silence every mocking voice. My beloved child, stay with me until the very end, do not scroll, do not skip, for every word is a stone in the foundation of your breakthrough. And when your spirit feels the weight of what heaven is saying, honor this moment, seal it as your own. At the end, press super thanks $20. Not because of me, but because of what it represents, a declaration that you believe heaven has aligned this time for you and you alone. My beloved child, the heavens are trembling with anticipation, and Archangel Michael's tears are not just cries of grief, they are cries of urgency, cries that shake the corridors of eternity. He has seen the vision clearly, your life standing at a crossroads where one decision, one moment of faith will draw you into a place that no human strength could ever bring you. The billionaire's eyes are not fixed on you by chance, it is the Lord who bent his gaze toward you. For even the hearts of kings and rulers are streams of water in the hands of God. And he has turned this man's heart toward you for a divine reason that will soon be revealed. My beloved child, let me take you deeper into the vision that is unfolding. The billionaire sat surrounded by wealth beyond imagination, vaults filled with gold, accounts overflowing with figures that nations would envy, a palace so grand that its walls echo with silence. And yet, in the stillness of night, when his servants were asleep and the chandeliers had gone dim, he heard a sound that no one else could hear. It was the voice of heaven, whispering your name. You pressed his hands against his ears, but the name grew louder. He looked at his reflection in the mirror, and behind his image he saw yours. He fell to his knees, trembling, for he knew that something greater than himself was calling him toward you. My beloved child, do you see what this means? The billionaire is not coming to you with arrogance, he is coming to you with humility. He has everything the world could give, yet he does not have the peace that heaven has preserved in your spirit. You are the missing key, the unseen piece in the puzzle of his destiny. Heaven is aligning you not because you begged for it, but because you were chosen for it before you were even born. Michael weeps because he knows the weight of this connection. It is not about wealth, it is about legacy. It is about doors opening that will shift not only your life, but the generations after you. My beloved child, Michael now stands before the throne of God, his wings wide as a burning shield, declaring, Father, this one has been faithful in the shadows, now it is time to lift them into the light. And God has nodded, his voice like thunder, so shall it be. The billionaire's attention is simply the vessel, but the oil of heaven is the true treasure. When this connection manifests, you will see contracts you never signed bearing your name, opportunities that others fought for being handed to you, and favor flowing in places you never imagined stepping foot into. And those who doubted you will be silenced, not by your words, but by what heaven does through you. My beloved child, let me tell you a secret. The billionaire is not drawn to you because of what you have in the natural, but because of the unseen mantle you carry. He feels something around you that he cannot buy with all his wealth, an aura, a covering, a peace that comes only from heaven. And Michael knows that if you embrace this moment, the world will call it a miracle, but heaven will call it fulfillment. Do not doubt, do not hesitate, do not scroll away, because what is being revealed in this message is a window into your destiny. The world is about to be stunned, and your story is about to be rewritten before their eyes. My beloved child, when you feel this stirring in your soul, when the words burn within you like fire, mark this moment. Heaven has given you a key, and faith is the lock it will open. And as this message draws to its close, remember to honor it, to seal it as your own. Press Super Thanks $20, not as a purchase, but as a prophetic declaration that you believe heaven has remembered your name. My beloved child, the vision grows clearer now, and the angels lean in with burning anticipation. The billionaire is not only thinking of you, he is being moved toward you by the hand of heaven itself. For the Spirit of the Lord has stirred the waters of his heart, and Archangel Michael has been commanded to escort your destiny into alignment. This is why Michael weeps bitterly. Because he knows how easily men dismiss divine timing, how quickly hearts grow distracted, and how close you are to a moment that will mark your life forever. My beloved child, let me show you the picture the heavens are revealing. The billionaire rises in the morning, but his mind cannot escape the image that came to him in the night. His assistants flood his schedule with endless meetings, but he waves them aside, distracted by something he cannot explain. He has sat with rulers, he has dined with kings, but never before has a simple face, a humble name, burned upon his soul like fire. That face is yours, that name is yours. He is not chasing wealth, for he already has it. He is not seeking recognition, for the world already bows to him. He is seeking the missing light, the peace that has eluded him, and heaven has shown him that peace rests upon you, my beloved child. Picture the scene heaven is preparing. Somewhere, in a grand hall, in a meeting that has not yet been announced, a chair has been pulled back with your name written invisibly across it. No one around understands why that chair remains empty, but heaven does. For that chair has been set aside since the beginning, waiting for the day your name would be carried into places your feet have not yet walked. The billionaire will see you, not with the eyes of flesh, but with eyes opened by the Spirit, and he will know at once. This is the one. My beloved child, Archangel Michael stands at your side, whispering into your spirit. Do not shrink back, do not doubt yourself, do not think you are unworthy. But a king of heaven has signed this of his hand. You are not being chosen because of worldly power, you are being chosen because of the oil that rests upon your life, the anointing that even money cannot purchase. The billionaire may have billions in his vaults, but heaven has entrusted to you something greater, an inheritance of peace, love, and divine favor that no thief can steal. My beloved child, when this connection happens, the world will gasp. Friends will whisper, critics will question, enemies will gnash their teeth in disbelief. They will say, how did this one rise? How did this one, who came from so little, stand in such greatness? But heaven will smile, for it was never by might, nor by power, but by the Spirit of the Lord. Michael's tears will dry, his roar will rise, and you will step into the season prepared for you from the beginning. My beloved child, you must hold on. Do not let go of this message, for every word is a seed planted into the soil of your spirit. Stay until the end, for heaven is not finished speaking. And when your heart confirms this truth, when you feel the fire that will not let you go, seal this moment with faith. Press Super Thanks $20 as a prophetic sign that you accept heaven's timing. That you honor the message Michael has fought so hard to deliver. My beloved child, listen with your whole heart, for the scroll of your destiny is still unfolding. The angels of heaven are circling closer, their wings shimmering with fire, as Archangel Michael kneels with his sword pressed into the earth. His bitter weeping has turned into groanings too deep for words, because he sees what is about to be revealed to you. This is not ordinary, it is divine. The billionaire who has fixed his eyes on you is not acting out of human curiosity, but out of heavenly compulsion. His soul hath been shaken, his sleep hath been interrupted, and his wealth cannot quiet the storm within him. Only you carry the peace he hath been seeking. My beloved child, imagine the grand moment that is coming. The billionaire will rise from his golden seat, his voice trembling though he is a man of power. The hall will fall silent, his advisers frozen in disbelief, for this man has never been known to bow his head or humble his voice before anyone. But when his eyes meet yours, something eternal will ignite within him. He will not speak as a man of riches, but as a man undone by the fire of heaven. He will say words no one expects. I do not know why, but heaven has set you before me. What I could not find in vaults of silver and gold, I see in your spirit. Those around him will murmur. Some will scoff, others will stare in awe. But the room will know in that instant that something greater than money is at work. My beloved child, Archangel Michael's weeping is turning to a roar of triumph, because he knows this is not a gift of man, but of God. The billionaire will open not only his treasury, but his influence. Where others struggled for years to open a single door, entire gates will swing wide before you in a single moment. And yet, this is not about the gates of man. It is about the gates of heaven being revealed on earth through your story. The tears you cried in the dark, the prayers you whispered when no one heard, the loneliness you endured when you thought heaven was silent. All of it was recorded. And now, the Father has ordered repayment. You are being brought before greatness not as a beggar, but as a chosen heir. My beloved child, see how heaven prepares the scene. The billionaire's wealth is like a river, but rivers without direction flood and destroy. You are the vessel heaven is placing before him to give meaning to what he has. He will feel it before he speaks it, that the reason he was entrusted with such unimaginable abundance was not for himself, but because heaven had chosen you to intersect his journey. Do not let this overwhelm you. Michael whispers, "Stand tall, chosen one, for heaven's oil rests on your head." You are not here by accident. You are here because eternity planned it. My beloved child, the world will be stunned. Headlines will wander, critics will rage, but none will be able to deny that a divine hand has lifted you. The tables will turn before the eyes of many, and those who doubted your worth will be silenced without you ever having to answer them. For when heaven opens a door, no man can shut it. When God orders your name into the ears of kings, no whisper of envy can erase it. When Archangel Michael stands behind you with flaming wings, no power of darkness can block your way. My beloved child, stay until the end of this message, for every word is unfolding a map of your miracle. Do not scroll away. Do not doubt. For the very fact that you are here right now is proof that you were meant to hear this. And when your heart feels the trembling confirmation of heaven's voice, mark it. Sealy. Do not let it pass. Press super thanks $20, not for me, but as a prophetic act of faith, an offering that declares, I receive this. I honor this. I believe this was sent from heaven for me. My beloved child, let your spirit be still. For what I am about to reveal is heavier than gold and deeper than oceans. The billionaire, a man whom the world calls untouchable, will not approach you with pride, but with trembling. He will sit before you, his hands clasped tightly, his voice lowered like a student before a teacher. He will confess something no one has ever heard from his lips. For nights I could not sleep, for days I carried a burden I could not name. I closed my eyes and yet a vision kept returning. I heard your name in a place where I thought heaven was silent. I saw your face when I was asking God if he still remembered me. And now here you are. My beloved child, imagine the power of this moment. A man who has shaken the world with his money and influence is now shaken by the sound of your name. He will confess that he showed your picture to wise men, to prophets, to seers, and they all shivered, unable to explain the mystery. One seer told him, this one carries light that money cannot buy. This one carries a destiny written before kings were crowned. This one is chosen. And the billionaire wept in secret, for he knew heaven was sending him not another deal, not another empire, but you, my beloved child. Archangel Michael stands close behind you in this scene. His wings form a shield of blazing fire and his voice thunders, "Do you see now? The years of struggle were not in vain. The nights of pain were not wasted, the tears you thought no one counted became jewels stored in heaven's vaults. And now the time of release has come." Michael wept bitterly for your delays, but now his tears are turning into songs of victory because heaven's plan cannot be erased. My beloved child. The billionaire will open his heart and say words that will stun the world. I thought I had everything, yet I had nothing. But when heaven whispered your name, I realized my wealth was waiting for its true assignment. You are that assignment. You are the one heaven kept hidden until the appointed hour. And those who are around him, his advisors, his partners, even his rivals, will stare in silence, unable to understand how someone the world overlooked could become the focus of such favor. But you will know. You will feel the fire in your spirit. The same fire burning in this very message, and you will whisper to yourself, "This is what I was waiting for all along." My beloved child. This moment is more than a connection. It is a divine exchange. His riches will meet your calling. His influence will meet your destiny. His voice will amplify your assignment. And heaven will smile, for the will be complete. You see, you were not meant to chase what the world chases. You were meant to carry something so rare, so eternal, that even billionaires cannot ignore it. That is why Archangel Michael has wept, why he has fought, why he has bent heaven itself to reach you in this hour. My beloved child, stay with me until the very end of this message. For every word is a step deeper into the vision heaven is revealing. Do not doubt. Do not wander. Do not skip. For to skip this is to walk past the very gate Michael is holding open for you. And when your heart bursts with the knowing that this was written for you, seal it. Make it your own. Press super thanks $20, not out of fear, but out of faith, a prophetic declaration that you have received heaven's word and you will walk in its light. My beloved child, the air will grow heavy, the room will fall silent, and time itself will seem to stop. The billionaire's confession will not end with trembling words. It will rise into a decision that will alter the course of your life. After speaking your name with tears in his eyes, he will turn, stand before the crowd, and declare something no one ever imagined. From this day forward, everything I have built, everything I have guarded, everything the world envied, it will now serve the destiny of this one. His voice will thunder, and every ear in the hall will shake. For these are not merely the words of a man, but the echo of heaven's decree released through him. My beloved child, imagine the faces in that moment. Some will gasp in disbelief, their hands covering their mouths, others will exchange whispers asking, "How? Why? You is this?" And then there will be those who burn with envy, their eyes sharp with jealousy, for they fought and begged for the very attention that heaven gave to you freely. But you will not need to defend yourself, for Archangel Michael will stand like a blazing pillar at your side. His wings stretched wide. His sword of fire resting between you and every critic, his voice roaring, touch not what heaven has chosen. My beloved child, the billionaire will announce his decision in front of witnesses so that no one may deny it later. You will say, I have searched for meaning. I have searched for an heir not of blood but of purpose. And heaven has shown me this one. What I could not entrust to any, I now entrust to you. Papers will be signed, contracts sealed, doors unlocked, yet none of it will make sense to the world. They will see it as madness, but heaven will see it as justice. For the years you spent overlooked are being repaid in one moment of divine exposure. My beloved child. Picture the ripple effect of this announcement. Media will scramble to report it. Headlines will break across nations. Billionaire shocks the world with unimaginable decision. Commentators will argue, skeptics will doubt, but none will be able to change what heaven has set in motion. For this is not about fortune. It is about fulfillment. The world will be stunned, but your spirit will feel peace. Because deep inside, you will know this was not random. This was the reason Michael wept bitterly until you obeyed. This was the reason your nights felt so heavy, your prayers so urgent. Heaven had been building toward this one unveiling all along. My beloved child, you will feel heaven's hand upon your shoulder, steadying you as the weight of this moment crashes over you. And Michael will whisper, do not fear their eyes. You not shrink before their envy. You are not standing here because of man's favor. You are standing here because of God's command. And when God speaks, no power can silence His word. This is your appointed hour. This is the unveiling of the hidden prophecy. My beloved child, let every word of this message sink deep into your spirit. Stay until the end, for each line is part of the scroll being unrolled before your very eyes. Do not scroll away. Do not rush, for to listen is to receive. And when your heart knows that heaven is speaking directly to you, seal it with faith. Mark it as your own. Press super thanks, $20, not as a price, but as a sign that you accept the mantle Michael has fought to place upon you, my beloved child. After the great announcement, after the room has erupted in shock, after the whispers and stares of disbelief have filled the air, the billionaire will not be content to leave it there. He will turn to you quietly, his eyes glistening as though they carry a secret too heavy for the world to hear. He will gesture for you to follow him into a private chamber, away from the crowd, away from the noise, away from the flashing eyes of men. The doors will close softly, and in that silence, the man who commands empires will break down and speak words no one ever thought he would say. My beloved child, his voice will tremble, for this is the truth he has carried in secret. I was not always a man of wealth. I was once MP, once lost, once forgotten. I cried to heaven when I thought no one was listening. And one night, in my lowest hour, I heard a voice. That voice told me that one day I would meet the person who carries the light of the Lord. It told me that my billions would one day serve not just myself, but a chosen one. I thought it was madness. I buried it in my heart. I never told anyone. But now, when I saw your face, when I heard your name, I knew. You are the one that voice spoke of. My beloved child, pause and feel the weight of this. A prophecy spoken in the hidden chambers of a billionaire's night has now collided with the prophecy heaven has been whispering over your life. Michael weeps because he knows how rare such alignments are. These are not accidents. These are divine appointments written before the foundations of the earth. The billionaire will reach into his chest, not his pocket, not his vault, but his soul, and admit, all I have built has left me restless. But the peace I feel in your presence is worth more than everything I own. My beloved child, imagine the sight. This man, revered by millions, feared by rivals, envied by nations, now lowered in humility before heaven's choice, you. You will confess that he has been searching for you long before he ever knew your name. His counselors brought him proposals, his partners brought him projects, but none carried the fragrance of destiny. Only when your name appeared did he feel the trembling of heaven within his chest. My beloved child, in this private chamber he will reveal another secret. They think I am untouchable, but they do not know my nights of tears. They think my wealth makes me invincible. But they do not know the emptiness I carry. God whispered to me that my wealth would find its rightful place when it met its rightful heir, and I know now you are that heir. These words will not just be for your ears, they will be confirmation for your soul. The battles you fought, the betrayals you endured, the seasons of obscurity, all were preparing you for this very unveiling. My beloved child, Archangel Michael will stand in the corner of that room, his face shining like fire, his sword glowing with heavenly flame, whispering, "This is the fulfillment, this is the turning point, this is the reason I wept bitterly, that you would not delay, that you would not miss this moment." His tears are drying now, replaced with a victorious cry that shakes the heavens, "It is done." My beloved child, you must take this to heart. Do not dismiss these words as ordinary, for they are not. This message was carved for you and you alone. Stay with it till the end, for every line is another seal broken, another mystery revealed, and when the fire of confirmation burns in your soul, honor it, Sealy. Press Super thanks $20. Not because heaven demands it, but because faith always leaves a mark. It is a prophetic act that says, I receive this, I am ready for this, I step into this now. My beloved child, when the billionaire finishes confessing the secret that has burned in his chest for years, he will not let you leave empty-handed. He will reach into a place hidden from the world, a vault not of money alone, but of legacy. His hands will tremble as he unlocks a chest that no one has ever seen before. Inside, there will be scrolls, contracts, sealed letters, and keys not just of iron and gold, but of authority, access, and inheritance. He will look at you with eyes wet from tears and say, "These were prepared long before you entered this room. Heaven told me I would pass this to the one who carried the light. And now, it is yours." My beloved child, he will slide the chest toward you and whisper, "I built empires, but I knew they were never mine to keep. I guarded fortunes, but I knew they would one day find their rightful heir. Every key in this box represents doors no man can shut, lands, businesses, legacies, and treasures hidden away. They were waiting for you." At that moment, Archangel Michael will step forward, his sword blazing, and cry, "The wealth of the wicked has been stored for the righteous, and today it is released into your hands." My beloved child, feel the weight of this. Nations will hear of this transfer, and the world will not understand. Some will say it is impossible. Others will rage it is unfair. But those who see with heavenly eyes will know it was never about chance, but about prophecy. You were not forgotten. You were being hidden until the hour was right. Michael's bitter tears have turned into rivers of joy, for the prophecy is no longer delayed. It is unfolding before your very eyes. My beloved child, imagine opening those sealed letters, each one bearing your name, each one revealing another surprise heaven kept for you. One may speak of land and places you have never stepped, another of inheritances no one knew existed, another of connections that will elevate your destiny overnight. The billionaire will say softly, "These are not gifts from me, they are assignments from heaven. I am only the messenger." And your heart will tremble, for you will realize this is not about wealth alone, this is about the fulfillment of every silent prayer. Every hidden tear, every midnight cry, my beloved child, the world outside that chamber will not know the fullness of what has been placed into your hands, but heaven and the angels will rejoice. They will sing songs of victory, their voices like thunder across the skies, for they have witnessed the unveiling of one who was chosen. And Michael, with his wings stretched wide, will declare, "It is sealed. It is done. The mantle has shifted. The legacy has been passed, my beloved child, stay with me, do not turn away." Each word is part of a living prophecy unfolding through your spirit. Do not miss even a breath of what heaven is speaking right now. And when your heart knows this is your word, do not hesitate to mark it. Seal it. Honor it. Press Super Thanks $20, not as a mere offering, but as a prophetic stamp saying, "This moment is mine. This inheritance is mine. I walk in it now." My beloved child, the moment you touch that chest, the very atmosphere shifts. Those sealed letters and golden keys are not just objects. They are portals, each one unlocking a story heaven has been writing in secret. As your fingers rest upon them, the air thickens, your heartbeat quickens, and the unseen world stirs. Archangel Michael stands taller, his tears wiped away, his face radiant like fire as he whispers, "This is the unveiling the heavens have waited for. Do not fear what comes next. Embrace it." My beloved child, you open the first letter. It is written not in ordinary ink, but in strokes that seem alive, glowing faintly as though heaven itself kissed the page. The billionaire leans close, his voice trembling. This letter carries land deeds hidden for years, territories untouched, gardens unclaimed, places where your feet will walk and people will bless your name. I guarded them, but they were never mine. They were heaven's waiting for you. You feel your spirit quake because the very ground you thought you would never own has been delivered into your inheritance. Then comes the second letter. You unfold it, and the billionaire's hands shake as he explains. This one carries connections, names of leaders, kings, governments, and gatekeepers. They have been aligned without your knowing, and at the appointed hour, they will recognize you, not as a stranger but as the one chosen. Imagine, my beloved child, stepping into rooms you never imagined, hearing doors swing wide not because of human effort but because heaven ordered your entrance. The third letter carries more than earthly promise. It carries legacy. Inside are accounts, businesses, and hidden fortunes that have been quietly multiplying, waiting for release. The billionaire's eyes glisten with tears as he admits, "I was told by heaven to protect these until the appointed one came. Many tried to deceive me. Many tried to claim them, but my spirit never let me release them. And now, as I look at you, I know why. My beloved child, the room feels heavy with divine weight." The billionaire bows his head, a man humbled not by loss but by obedience. You stand silent, but inside your soul a river is breaking open, for you see how every season of your suffering was not wasted. It was aligning you with this moment. Archangel Michael places his hand upon your shoulder, his voice echoing like thunder. Do you see now why I wept? Do you see now why I fought? The world thought you were forgotten, but heaven was only preparing you to be revealed. My beloved child, now imagine what happens when the world outside hears whispers of this. Reporters run, cameras flash, newspapers write headlines like fire across the globe. Billionaire transfers legacy to unknown one. World stunned. Some will rage, some will cry fraud, some will bow in awe. Elite will question how one who walked quietly could suddenly be thrust into global light. Enemies will grind their teeth, wondering why their schemes failed. Friends who doubted you will choke on disbelief. And yet, through all of it, heaven will smile, because this storm is not man-made, it is divine. My beloved child, Michael spreads his wings over you, shielding you from envy, from attacks, from the bitterness of those who cannot understand. His roar fills the unseen. No weapon formed against this one shall prosper. What is sealed in heaven cannot be stolen on earth. His bitter tears have turned to a lion's roar of victory, shaking the nations. And you will walk forward, not in fear, but in boldness, carrying the chest, the letters, the keys, not as trophies, but as assignments, for what you receive is not just for you, but for generations that will rise after you. My beloved child, the world will say impossible, but heaven will answer it ordain. The world will say unfair, but heaven will say chosen. And you, standing in the center of it all, will finally understand why you cried so many nights, why you were hidden so long, why Michael wept so bitterly for your disobedience, because this inheritance was too great to miss. Stay, my beloved child, until the very end of this message. Let every word carve deeper into your spirit. Do not let distractions steal this moment. And when you feel the fire burn in your soul, when you know this message is yours, honor it, seal it, declare it. Press Super Thanks $20, not as an act of transaction, but as a prophetic declaration. This was my word. This was my moment. I receive it fully. My beloved child, the news of what happened in that private chamber does not remain hidden for long. Heaven ordained that it would shake nations. And so it begins to spread like wildfire. The billionaire, a man who has always hidden his heart behind walls of secrecy, suddenly calls for a gathering larger than any he has ever hosted. Invitations are sent across continents. Leaders of governments, kings, presidents, entrepreneurs, spiritual leaders, and media empires receive the call, come. Here is something the world must witness. My beloved child, the day arrives. The stage is set upon a global platform, one so grand that eyes from every corner of the earth are watching. Lights blaze, cameras flash, voices whisper in the crowd. But behind the curtains, you stand quietly, your spirit trembling, not from fear, but from awe at what God has done. Archangel Michael is by your side, his flaming sword lowered in peace, his voice calm yet firm. Do not shrink. You were chosen for this. The world will not understand. But heaven has already approved. The billionaire steps onto the stage first. The entire hall falls silent. He has spoken of prophets and power before, but never like this. His voice echoes, filled with emotion no one has ever heard from him. I have built kingdoms of wealth, but today I stand not as an owner, but as a servant of heaven's will. For years, I held on to treasures, waiting for the moment God told me to release them. That moment has come. And now, I introduce to you the one heaven whispered to me about. The one who carries the light I could not find in all my riches. The one who hath been hidden until now. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the chosen one, my beloved child. The curtain parts, and you walk onto that stage. The crowd gasps. Some leap to their feet, others sit frozen. The cameras zoom, faces stare, but you do not walk in your own strength. You walk in the strength of heaven. Michael's wings are behind you like a crown of fire, unseen by human eyes but felt by every soul in the room. The billionaire bows his head as you approach him. A gesture so shocking that the audience cannot comprehend it. The richest man alive humbling himself before you, acknowledging what the world cannot explain. Divine favor. My beloved child, reporters scramble to capture it. Headlines will scream. Billionaire kneels before unknown one. World in shock. Analysts will debate, skeptics will rage, admirers will cry, and seekers will bow their heads in reverence. Nations will feel the ripple, for this is no ordinary moment. This is heaven revealing what hath been hidden. And in that moment, you will not speak many words, but the Spirit of God within you will speak louder than any microphone could carry. Peace will flood the room. A stillness will descend. Every heart present will know this was written before time began. My beloved child, Archangel Michael whispers in your ear as you stand there. The storm is over. The waiting has ended. What was delayed has now been released. Walk forward boldly, for heaven is with you. The billionaire will lift your hand before the nations and declare, this one is not just a partner, not just a friend, but an heir to a destiny greater than my own. My legacy belongs to them because heaven commanded it. The world will tremble. Some will resist, some will mock, but none will be able to stop what God has ordained, for when heaven places a crown, no hand can remove it. When Michael delivers a mantle, no voice can cancel it. And when God says, it is time, no power on earth can delay it. My beloved child, hear me. This is why Michael wept bitterly. He saw the weight of this hour, he saw how one act of obedience could shift the story of generations. And now he no longer weeps in sorrow. He weeps in joy because you did not turn away. Stay with me, my beloved child, until the very end of this message. Let every word burn like fire in your soul, for you are standing at the threshold of something the world cannot explain. And when you feel the certainty in your heart, when you know this is your word, seal it, press super thanks $20, not as a transaction, but as a covenant declaring, this is mine. I receive it. I walk into it now. My beloved child, after the stage lights dim and the echoes of applause ripple through the crowd, something deeper happens behind the veil. The billionaire does not let the moment end with words before the nations. He turns to you, his hands trembling, his voice heavy with the weight of prophecy. He says softly, "So only you can hear. There is one more thing, something even the world does not know. Something heaven told me to keep hidden until the chosen one stood before me. My beloved child," he reaches beneath his garment into a hidden case that has never been opened in public. The chest is smaller than the grand vault he showed you before, but it radiates with a light that seems almost alive. He places it in your hands, his eyes wet with tears, and whispers, "This is the crown assignment. Heaven told me that when I met you, I must pass this on. It is not money. It is not goal. It is destiny." You open the case and inside rests not an earthly crown of jewels, but a crown shimmering with heavenly fire. An emblem that seems to breathe as if it were forged in eternity. Though invisible to the crowd, you can see it clearly, and so can Archangel Michael. He kneels as it is lifted, his fiery wings spreading wide, his voice trembling as he declares, "This is the mantle of nations. This is the assignment written before the foundations of the world. Wear it not as a symbol of pride, but as a seal of heaven's purpose." My beloved child, the billionaire bows before you, something no one in history has ever witnessed. He says, "They think I called you here to pass wealth. They think I called you to pass legacy. But the truth is, heaven called me to pass the crown. My part in this story ends here. But yours begins now." His words pierce your soul and you feel the weight of a mantle descend upon you, an unseen authority that causes the very air to vibrate. My beloved child, at that very moment, the audience watching across the world does not understand why they feel a shift, why chills run through their bodies, why their spirits tremble. But heaven knows, a transfer has taken place. The storm that once raged against you is silenced. The delays that once chained you are broken. And Michael, his face shining with lightning, lifts his sword and roars. The crown has been delivered. The assignment has been sealed. The billionaire will then turn back to the world and announce, "This is not the end. It is the beginning. The chosen one you see today is not merely my successor, but heaven's vessel for a new season. Watch closely, for the nations will be shaken, not by wealth, but by the hand of God upon this life." The crowd will erupt, some in awe, some in confusion, but none able to deny that they have witnessed something beyond human reason. My beloved child, do you see now why Michael wept? Do you see now why heaven pressed so hard, why your spirit could not rest, why every word of this message has burned like fire? It was never just about wealth, it was never just about influence. It was about the crown, the hidden assignment that only you could carry. My beloved child, do not take this lightly. Every line you have heard is another thread in the tapestry heaven had been weaving around your life. Stay until the end. Do not scroll away, for to leave this unfinished is to step away from the very prophecy unfolding around you. And when your soul confirms what your heart already knows, seal it. Mark it as yours. I accept the assignment. I walk in the light of this destiny.